How beautiful was it? Do you want to dance? It makes you want to get up and dance, doesn't it?
I was.
Oh, you were.
The chair and I were having a beautiful dance over there.
He's a bit of a wild dancer here, our Big D, because that was Tara Naismith there, teaming up with Rob Wilson. He's a bit of a wild boy too, isn't he?
He is. He's a load of fun. Of course, we caught up with him down at Soldiers Point last year, so terrific stuff. Well, there is some emerging talent right over Australia, right across Australia. Of course, we've caught up with the Wolf Brothers from Tasmania, the Renegades from Western Australia. They're all over the place.
Ooh, just up in Emerald?
Up in Emerald, North Queensland last week or the week before with someone else. I'm losing track of it. So we thought we'll go down to Sydney and see what the country music scene in Sydney's happening like. And an emerging talent out of there, someone that's been doing all the talent circuits around the place, things like Road to Tamworth, Mate and Talent Search, even Australian Idol there at one stage, back in 2006. Consequently, 2006 was the last year. 2006 was the first year that Queensland started winning their 7 in a row State of Origin. So we won't bring that up tonight, though. And joining us on the line is Craig Woodward. G'day, Craig. How are you?
Hi, Darren and Tracy. Yeah, we're licking our wounds. Well done last night.
But I've got to say, that was probably one of the best State of Origin games we have seen in a long, long time. It was a great game.
Yeah, it reminded you, reminiscent of the 80s, you know, the passion between both sides. They just wanted to win, didn't they?
Absolutely.
It did. It had the passion back, and I even made a comment halfway through the thing. You may have the name Miles on your back, and it's like we're back there when the big Miles was playing, and it just seemed like we were back there in the 80s. It was an awesome game.
Great. Great entertainment.
And good luck to both teams, because they put on a spectacle that everyone could be proud of. Mate, what's the country music scene like in Sydney?
Yeah, it's good. We've got quite a few people down here that work and or sort of base themselves from Sydney. I guess a lot of people come down to follow, you know, working dollars and things like that, and then they pursue their career out of there. There's Ben Gunn, who lives not far away from me, about half an hour away in Leichhardt. And I think you've got Jason Lee, who's out sort of Campbelltown way, and there's quite a few people down in sort of based in Sydney. I sort of spent most of my time in Sutherland growing up, which is sort of like just an
Cronulla
country town. Yeah,
we are Cronulla supporters.
Yeah, they go really well. Yeah, so no, it's a great place, Sutherland. It's as I said, it's like an overgrown country town. Everyone seems to know everyone. It's all connected. So it's a good place to sort of bring up a family and I've got a private business, a music school in the Sutherland Shire as well. So it's good. It's a good place for music.
I'm just gonna come straight out and say it, okay? Okay, Craig. Have you heard the saying? Obviously you have. By this song, Woodward Smile, you've heard of the saying, doesn't matter where you get your appetite from, as long as you dine at home.
At home. You've got it in one, Tracy. You've listened to the words.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I've been telling myself that for many, 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 many years, because that's all that's happening.
That's right. Well, there you go. You know, and that's, I guess that is the crux of the song. And I just thought, tongue in cheek, look at that. And it's funny. I don't think anyone's come up with a song like that. So maybe I want something there.
But you know what? And I think if we need to get this out as much as we can, because it is a song that everybody knows what it's about. And someone has finally come out and just said, well, you know what, guys? This is what we do.
That's right.
This is it. Girls, you need to learn. This is what we're going to do. We have eyes and we're going to use them.
We're going to use them. That's right, yeah.
I tell you what I love about the song, Craig, is just simply that just because it's a country song doesn't need to have a tractor, a ute and a dog in it.
There's no tractors, ute and I'll tell you what, there's some suntans.
It's an Aussie beach country song, isn't it?
Well, that's right, yeah. I mean, I consider myself... my little motto is that I'm the city boy with the country soul. So I've got the city in my blood as well. Like I was brought up in a sort of suburban city environment, and then just by listening and watching CNC when I was a kid, Shania Twain was my first influence, and it's kind of funny. My music or my style is not that far from her. Like it's sort of the country rock. There's sort of that pop country rock sort of sound. So it's just funny, your early influences and then it just becomes the storytelling, which is great in music, you know. I was only talking the other day, I was just listening to Keith Urban's, one of his albums, and I just thought it's just so good. You just listen to that album from start to finish, and every song's got a different story, and you just have a chat about it, or you can relate to it straight away just because of the story they're telling. So that's what's important in country music, I think, the story.
And something very important too that I've sort of been brought up with all my life is diction. You know, if we can't understand what you're saying,
right.
we're not just going to go by beats. You know, a lot of people do in their dance club and things like that's just doof, 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 and it's just fantastic. Doesn't matter what you're saying. But congratulations, Craig. We can hear and understand every word you're saying in this. I think you like the idea of this song.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do. It's funny. It took 25 minutes to write that song. It was the quickest song, and it was every time I play it. Doesn't matter whether I play it to a pub rock loving crowd or I'll still have people on the dance floor. Like, it's just one of those songs that just seems to make people feel good. And as I said, like, from a musician's perspective, it's probably the simplest song you could write, you know.
But it has got a great intro. Like you mentioned Shania Twain before. You know, you hear din 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 din. All the girls are on the floor. So you do have a great start there.
Actually, I play a lot of the guitars on it, but I got Stewie French to play that one. And you've probably heard of Stewie French from the Feral Swing Cats, and Camille and Stewie. And Stewie's he only lives around the corner from me, or about 15 minutes away. And yeah, he was pound for pound the first choice I wanted. Probably him or Duncan Toombs. Duncan's a very well-known guitarist and producer. And I got Duncan to do the film clips. So yeah, it's very good, and that's what I like about it. I've been in the music game for years, but it's only really the last 5-6 years I've really started to align my crosshairs on sort of the country scene and trying to build up a name in that scene from the grassroots up. And it's just funny, the more I do it, the more I realise it's just a relationship. You get to know all these great people, and everyone's good at different things, and you just, you source things out and you experiment and you create with all these wonderful, talented people. They're all Australians, so it's great. It's fantastic.
Well, you mentioned we, of course, had Camille and Stewie on the show just a few weeks ago, and they're talking about the influences and things that they love doing, and the live gigs and so forth. Where do your gigs come from? Being based on the beach side there, where do you get most of your gigs?
Most of my gigs, yeah. Well, I do a residency in the city, in the Rocks, called a place called the Mercantile, which is the oldest Irish pub in the city. But they let me free to my own devices. I pretty much Saturday I've got like a double gig, which is an afternoon duo, and we do a lot of the laid-back stuff where I can do the John Denvers and do my own sort of cool, relaxed sort of originals. And then later on we do the three-piece rock country pop show. So that's where I do my weekly gig, and that's sort of like my main income. And that's been good because I've been doing it for about a year now, and it's built up. We get people coming every week, and it's a real sort of breeding ground for me to try the new material that I need. Or if I've got, like at the moment, I'm putting together a show called Woodward and the Lonely Dogs, and it's going to be called a tribute to country, pop and rock. So I'm utilising all of those influences, everything from Matchbox 20 to Keith Urban to Brad Paisley to whoever I've been inspired by. John Denver, yeah. Like there'll be a really cruisy. It's going to be 2 1-hour sets. A really sort of cruisy middle of the road set, and then later on we'll do more of the party and fun set. But that's the one that I do. That's been my bread and butter. And then the other one I do a little restaurant bar at Cronulla called Zinc Bar, which is right on the water at Cronulla. But they've been good enough to give us, one gig a month, and that's a really good gig to get exposure down there. And then as I said, at the moment, I mentioned before my school. I've got a music school. I've got 81 students that learn in the school term. So we're on school holidays at the moment. So we just had our mid-year concert, which is out of the way. So now the second half of the term, I can really focus on getting gigs for the rest of the year. Just teaching in the normal day today, and then getting, working towards Tamworth and wherever else I can get my foot in the door. So.
Well, that sounds fantastic. It's great to see people out there working, and good support with merchandise too with your at your gigs.
Yeah, it's been good, mate. It's funny, the Mercantile gig. I'm selling, between 4 and 5 albums a gig, which is pretty much unheard of for an independent artist. But it's just on the back of working hard, but also just I put a lot of time into the way I present my work. So we'll have I've sort of made my bread and butter playing other people's music, and then when I've got my album out, I thought, well, how how do I introduce this to people that they're still not going to be turned off, but then hook them in? And it's just picking the songs off the album that really rock, and the ones that have got a lot of meaning, and then putting them next to songs that, as I said, that mean a lot to me. So it could be anything. It could be Never Tear Us Apart by NXS, and then I'll play Breeze, one of my nice ballads, and then once you've hooked them in, you can really expose them to your own music. So that's where I'm at the moment in my career. I'm just building that and finding that's working for me, because it's a tough game, as everyone knows. Like to make a living out of just your own music is very, very tough. But I've only been out there on the market, I guess, for a bit over a year, and this album's still starting to do things for me, which is good. So I'll keep moving forward.
The key to it, of course, is working like a lonely dog.
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, if you're not dripping down to Sydney right now, you can still pick that album up. Just hop on to all the W's, craigwoodward.com, and you'll be able to click onto the online store and pick up an album from there.
That's right, exactly.
Too easy. Looking forward to when you actually let us know when you're coming up this way, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of people out to see you, hey?
I will, definitely, yeah. So once this show gets up and running, I'm definitely going to definitely get back to Mooloolaba and places like that. So
back to the beach, yeah, right.
Whereabouts are you guys based?
We're about 20 minutes from Mooloolaba, aren't we?
Yeah, about a half an hour south of Mooloolaba, yep.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's where the Bondi Smile was born. So
beautiful.
There you go.
That was the beach I was on, so that's where the Queensland reference came. So all you Queensland listeners can get into that.
Queenslanders.
Well, we'll go out with Bondi Smile now. So, folks, listen to the lyric behind this. It's a great yarn. It's a great story. And
request it. Keep requesting the songs. We
Absolutely.
need to keep our Aussie artists out there and going.
Good on you. Craig Woodward, thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.